So today is June 1st, 2025. I'm here about a few minutes just upriver of Gottsville. And today I'm at Bieke's property. How are you today, Bieke?
Hi, doing good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
So we figured we'd come up today. She invited me to come down to her property just to kind of take a look and see what things look like. We're how far down from the dams?
Somewhat about 40 miles.
About
down,
40 miles.
Downriver from the dams.
Okay.
And so this is our property and on the river, and this is supposed to be our boat ramp, which was never fancy, but we had it with small rock, and then we would have some river rock over there. And right now what you see here is just clay and sediment left over, which is dried right now. So this is different for us. We have to probably open it up again and smooth it out or something. But when we walk towards the river, see, this is some prints from some deer, which we barely see any deer anymore, but there's still a couple that come down from the mountains and hang out here.
Okay.
So yeah, this is just very strange to see this. I don't know, it looks like sand.
Yeah, it sure does.
But this is about, I don't know, probably a foot thick here.
Okay.
And there for sure a couple of feet, because we never used to be able, this right here with normal water level, we would already stand with our feet in the water right here.
Oh gosh,
and it
okay.
would be boulders and river rock right there, and right there on the edge you would already stand in the water up to your waist.
Okay.
So which I assume if you would go in the water, that's where you would stand that deep. So this is amazing. This is like our own little beach, but this is very strange to see that, because we never had this here.
Huh.
The sediment and the moment that we had clay here, it was amazing. You could just grab, the clay and form like a ball, even here. And I know I did that closer to the dams, which it was possible there, but here too. And so it's probably underneath the sand, more.
Yeah. That's possible. I'm sure that the clay probably is underneath this, and as it continued to flush down,
Right.
I'm assuming that the sand just piled on top of it.
Yep. So this is new to us. Well, since the dam removal, and
Okay.
today the water is looking kind of green brownish, which the river never looked super clear or super nice, but this is pretty bad. And now we're more than a year past the dam removal already.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Down here I can see, because I went up to Collier's Rest area before I met you down here, and even up there the water was brown, and if you really look, it's almost got a green tint to it.
Yep. Yeah, and sometimes it smells. So it depends on, the rains we had and the flow of the water. But no animals. I miss my animals. The reason why we live here is because we love nature and we love animals. We love being around animals, and there's barely anything around anymore. I mean, we used to have, there's one rock somewhere, and right now, it's on that side. It had some turtles on there all the time. I
Okay.
would take my binoculars and see them on there and sunbathing and back down in the water, and there's just not there anymore since the dam removal. Several otters. We always had an otter family, and even beavers, because we had all these beaver chews. Let's see, there's one. That's a beaver chew. So this is a beaver that chewed on this one, which is old. It's not a new chew. But we just don't see them anymore. Deer, same thing. Once in a while you'll see an eagle, an egret once in a while, and fish. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's the biggest problem, I think, is the fish. There's no food for these animals to come here and live here. so they had to move on. And more than a year, and of course we saw some fish jump whenever they released fish near Iron Gate.
Okay.
But that's not the natural way of doing things.
No.
Yeah, we used to hear and see fish jump before the dam removal.
And that hasn't
Quite a
really
bit.
happened after the dam removal?
I did hear a couple of jumps at some point, and that was right after, a little bit after a release. So I don't know if they came from the ocean or if they just came from the release. I don't
Okay.
know. Yep. Beautiful day today.
It is a beautiful day today.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Yes. So I'm still here with Bieke, and just as perspective, you know, fire season has already started here. We've had a string of fires over the last week. We had a few even yesterday. I'm here, and you can kind of see the scar of the McKinney fire.
Yeah, right there. It came down up to that at the end of the fires. So that was pretty close. We were not here at that moment, of course.
Yes. So,
But, and here's the river. So for fire suppression for our property, we'd like to use river water. But you know, when you have muddy rivers, muddy water, it's going to clog up the filter, and we don't know how we're going to actually accomplish that at this moment.
yeah. So obviously you do have some fire concerns, but your exit way out obviously is 96. That's your only way in and out. So
Correct.
you'd either go, depending on where the fire
Yep.
is,
One
you'd
way or
either
another.
go downriver or upriver. And I know
Exactly.
during the McKinney fire, there was a lot of people that even got trapped.
Mhm.
And during the McKinney fire, it was this Klamath River that they utilized water from to help fight that fire. And I'll
Mhm.
kind of zoom in more so you can kind of see that region. So do you have any other concerns with the fire and suppression and...
Well, of course, floods. There's no control anymore. There's no dams. There's no control over the water. It's just going to go its natural course. And we're standing here almost at a normal river water level. But it's just a matter of time, I guess, that we're going to stand in the river right now. And knowing that is very concerning. I mean, this is our paradise property, and we have a couple of buildings that might or will be in trouble. So yeah, floods and insurance, as you know, that's just not gonna, those are gonna be so high, we're not gonna be able to pay that.
Right. And I know a lot of people in this region, they're already seeing skyrocketing prices. They're dropping their insurance. I know some property owners are having to reach out to their local fire departments to make sure they're covered and see how far they live from a facility. So
Right.
it's a big mess.
It's a big concern. Yeah.
So I know that this winter has been one of our wettest winters that we've had a while. I know that you work and probably aren't here 24/7. Did you notice a difference with the river flows since we kind of had some flooding events in December and January and February?
Well, yeah, we had some high waters. Actually, you can't see it quite anymore, but that big rock right there, that was underwater at some point.
The one that's in the lawn?
Yep. The big boulder kind of there, sticking out.
Yeah, okay.
So, that's pretty high.
Yeah.
That's high water. And here's the thing, you can have high water, but if you have dams, you know that somebody's going to try to at least mitigate or control it, and you know, you're not really in trouble. But now we just don't know. there's no way of knowing when it's going to happen and what's going to happen and how high it's going to get.
So, like, as far as an alarm system, because I do know that they had that big release from Upper Klamath Lake in February. So, is there like any kind of a warning system down here for you guys? Let's say if we do get a big rain event and the river does rise, is there like any notifications that you guys get warning you of these higher possible water levels coming down the Klamath?
No, but that's the thing about people living on a river like this. You have contacts. And so all up and down the river, our only notification will be just a call or a message from a neighbor That's the good thing with, river people. It's just the truth. I mean, you need each other, you know. So that's what will happen is a phone call and say, hey, our water is this high right now. I heard this or that, and then take action accordingly.
Okay. So we kind of moved here to, this is the front of Bieke's place in her house. This is the view that she has from her little cabin here. So what did this area look like before?
Well, before the dam removal, of course, we didn't have all the sediment, the beach of, the pileup of sand and clay and silt, sediment, whatever you call it. So that was all just water. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The water would come up to here.
Okay.
At the normal level. So, and we for about a year or so, 2 years, we built a dock out. We would have our kayaks stored underneath it, and standing right there where the silt is, we would stand on boulders and river rocks up to our waist right there. So, and it's amazing. You can just walk on there right now. So yeah, I don't know.
And you said it came up to like the bottom of this tree right here,
Correct.
right?
Well, we have just a normal high water, after good rains and some even when the dams, were still in. So the high water would come to the bottom of this big black walnut tree.
Okay.
So yeah.
So this is kind of what it's looking like from here. And we'll just kind of walk up here a little bit to kind of give you guys an idea what this area looks like.
I have to say though that everything looks very lush,
Yes, it does.
Maybe even a little bit more than other years. Everything has been growing a lot more. The willows and blackberry bushes.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of the blackberry bushes this year. Sorry, excuse me.
Oh, snakes.
Have bloomed.
Snakes.
Oh.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah, no, I see they're going down in the hole.
I just heard something. I'm like, whoa. So the one is biting the other one, huh? I wonder what
It looks like
here.
gophers.
Yeah, and they're good. We need those.
Yes, gophers are good. Oh, there's two. Yep. One's latched right onto the other one.
Yep. One is biting the other one.
Well, that's a little treat for today.
Interesting.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
A little diversion there.
You step on them.
Yes.
Sure.
So we'll get back over here. No other snakes here that we can see.
Yeah.
Oh. So, but this is kind of what the Klamath River is looking like from here. As Bieke said, it's kind of more brown in color. Sometimes it's like driving down, it has kind of a green hue to it as well. But this is what it's looking like from her property. And Bieke, did you have anything else to add?
Well, we can go on and on about this project. It's a huge mistake. Yeah, they made a big mistake, and there's a lot of lies out there, and that's the issue too,
Yeah.
So, and of course, the residents, I mean, the people that live here and nature has to suffer. Yep.
I would agree with you.
Yep.
Well, I want to say thank you for taking some time with me today and allowing me to come down to your property and kind of show me around.
You're welcome.